DarkStorme, high fantasy skirmish from Alternative Armies. If you go to Alternative Armies, it's actually alternative-armies.com, you can download a whole bunch of supplemental material, including quick reference sheets, and for this game in particular, a little two-player scenario. It's not a scenario, though. It's a three-part mini-campaign. Today, we're going to play the first chapter in a fist full of coins. And in this, our three plucky heroes, here they are over here, are trying to rescue a princess. Now, she's not on the table. I said it was three parts. She shows up in probably the third part, maybe the second. We'll have to play it out to find out, won't we? The game starts as our hero, the heavily armored warrior Marcus Dante, and his two traveling companions, Eberhard, the human mage, and Arilla, the elf scout, plus their three trusty doggos, Fritz, Franz, and Fonzo, are heading past a ruined barn. It says it's supposed to be a barn. The ruined house looks good, so we're going to go with that. And when they are accosted by actually three sets of three local bandits. Our heroes are heading north to a keep where they think that the princess is being held. There are more bandits there. These are just allies. I don't have a whole lot of peasant bandit figures with clubs in my collection. So as you can see, I am using some splintered light figures. I will say this. I believe the mage, I know this guy comes from Alternative Armies. Pretty sure the doggos come from Alternative Armies. This, I believe, is actually a 10mm figure from Pendraken. And like I said, these orcs that I'm using for my bandits, these are from Splintered Light, in case you want to play along at home. As you can see, we've got one orc up there with an axe and two with crossbows. It's not going to be Wissywig today, because they are supposed to be two bandits they're supposed to be two human bandits, archers, so they should have bows. But the models have crossbows. It's fine. It's not going to be the end of the world. And then we have 5 bandits with wooden clubs, and all they have is a buckler for armor. How about that? And 1 wound. And then we have 2 kind of tough guys. So we got a group of 3 up there. There's the guys with the arrows. And then down here in the woods, they're up there they are, right behind that tree there. I think you can see them a little bit better now. So the guy with 2 swords, he is Bernardo the Tough Human. He actually has a hand axe. So we're going to use that. He's got iron skin and no armor. The other 2 guys just have clubs. And then the leader of these bandits is over here off to the right. And that's this pig-faced orc, the only proper kind of orc. Down here, the guy with the shield and the sword, he is Hermann Zermitz, a Dresden human. I guess Dresden is the city they come from. He's got an extra wound because he's got flimsy armor. I'm not going to worry too much about the stats for these guys. You'll figure it out as we go along. You can tell. The 2 leader types have 2 wounds. The other 6 guys each have 1 wound. Our heroes mostly have a pair of wounds. I should probably familiarize myself with the doggos a little bit better. Our hunting dogs have 2 actions. They're crazy fast. And nope, they just have the 1 wound. Now, this is a 3-part scenario, and we're going to have to kind of tinker with things a little bit because there's things left unsaid. I don't know if I should treat all 3 chapters as a single scenario. So does the armor only apply? So our chief boy here, Dante, he's got heavy armor. So when he takes a hit, if he takes damage, he gets basically a 4 or less save. If he rolls a 4, then the armor is damaged. Does he get a chance to repair that between chapters? Well, I don't know. Like, we're going to get to the keep later that night. Maybe we say he repairs it, but instead of being exquisite, it drops to a 3-. We'll figure it out. The way this game works, pretty simple. We're going to roll 2d6 for each side, and if anybody has initiative, they'll have a +1 to that roll. Before the scenario starts, you can drop your heroes anywhere within 3 inches. All right, it's written as 6, but remember I'm using 15mm figures, so 3 inches for me. The doggo's point is way far forward. I pulled them back. I pulled my heroes back. I want as much space between me and the northern side of the table as possible, because these bandits are going to fight until 5 of them have been eliminated. Then the other 4 are going to make a run for the north, and I want to try to stop them at that point. I think that we have probably turned the tables on the attackers at this point, and as a solo wargamer, of course, I'm going to be cheering for the heroes. So we'll go ahead and roll that 2d6 for both of them. Our heroes are going to be using the black dice, or the yellow dice. The green dice will be for the green skins. And as is our tradition, we're going to start off with a tie roll, even on the 2d6. Interesting. This time around, the greenskins are going to score a 12 to 8 for our heroes, and that means the bandits get the first activation. You can use 2 actions. Everybody has 2 actions in this scenario, and you can use those actions to shoot. You can use those to move up to your movement distance, or you can run, which is about a move and a half. After they are done moving, you can see this is the secondary leader, I guess the Lieutenant Bernardo. Most of these orcs are going to be moving 4.5 inches when they run, with the exception of our leader, who's a little slow. I got to pull him back just a little bit. He has the most armor. He moves the slowest. So the only 2 guys that did not move are the archers. This axeman pulled off to the side here. He's going to try and protect them as they fire at Fritz and Franz the dog. So we're going to take 2 shots, and it's a simple 2d6 trying to roll above. And those archers have a cause wounds of 9 or better. So we roll the bones. They get a 6 and a 5. And you do track ammunition. There's 20 of them. It takes 1 action to fire and 1 action to reload. So they're done. And now our heroes get to go. And you roll for initiative at the beginning of every turn. So there's a chance they may get to go twice. I am going to pull the wizard is going to move. He's going to run up these stairs. Now his movement is, where are you at there, Eberhard? He can run 4.5. He can walk 3 inches. We're only going to walk 3 inches. He is 1.5 inches from the stairs, which is the 3 inches. And then I guess that's really all he can do. Oh man, I was hoping to put him in the barn to keep him safe. But I definitely want to drop a spell. So we're going to do all of his activations. Now, the way spells work, they automatically are assumed to work. Then you roll to find out if they work. I know it's a little weird. Just humor me. Basically, you're going to roll a 2d6. And you're just looking to see if you get a 2 or a 3. I got a 7. He gets the spell off. Now, every spell can only be used once per scenario. And I think we're going to call that, like, this is a scenario, and then he gets some recharge. But I'll do some research, and maybe we change our mind before we get to the next one. He has a whole lot of spells, very Vancian. These are all fire and forget. The lightning fork is kind of a lovely one. So I'm going to put a nice light cross out there to remind myself that he's already fired it. You purchase the spells using points. In my last video, I was a little confused on what these points mean. This just means how many points it costs you to purchase the ability to use that spell. They're like experience points, and once they're expended, I don't have to worry about it. I already purchased the ability to drop that lightning bolt down on these 3 orcs. With this roll of 7, the spell is successful. Now they have to roll to resist magic, which they will do on a 9 or better. I'm going to roll for this guy, then this guy, and the yellow dice will be for that sub-lieutenant. So the yellow dice and the green both fail, and then this last guy also fails. So all 3 of these guys take 1 wound, and we are doing fantastic. We are off to a great start, aren't we? I need to check the sub-lieutenant, though. Bernardo has 2 wounds, so we're going to mark him with our standard wound die. He has iron skin. He is down to just 1 wound, and our wizard is done. We're going to try to finish him off. We're going to move our scout up here, and she is going to use her 2 throwing daggers, which I think I'm going to have to... Let's find out what happens with this first one. We roll a 6 and on our roll to hit, and she has a cause wound that's not great of 8 or better. So we're going to make 2 attacks. Now, I think with the throwing knives, you can just throw them both. And we get a 6, so nothing doing. She's probably going to have to take a shot from him. Then we're going to use our dogs. Are going to go ahead and we'll just go 1v1 over here. The dogs, fortunately, Fritz, Franz, and Fonzo, very fast. They can run 7.5 inches. As you can see, they're all within 6. That will take them... Well, wait a minute. Let's think about this. They can walk 5 inches and still get an attack off. So I can bring this guy up to here, and then the rest of these are further than 5 inches away. I could... Well, I have to take it one at a time, though, don't I? So this is Franz, and Franz is going to go try to bite that guy with the axe. And Franz is going to roll a 5 and fail. So then we'll bring dog number 3, Fonzo, is going to roll a 9, and he's got a cause wound of an 8+. So that causes a wound. The guy he attacks now gets an opportunity to try to resist the wound. And as a regular club-wielding bandit, he only does that on an 8 or better. Which he does. Hey, tough guy here, huh? Worth pointing out, because this is the second attacker on the turn, our guy's resist goes from an 8 to a 9. Of course, the 11 still passes, doesn't it? So we have one more dog, and he's going to... Boy, is he within 5? We're actually going to bring him around. He can move a total of 7.5 inches. We're going to bring him around, and he's going to get stuck in. Now, he doesn't have the ability to fight with this lieutenant, but he is close enough to at least get into contact. Our hero, unfortunately, is too far away from any of the bad guys to do much. He doesn't have any missile weapons, so about all we can do is position him. Let's just move him over here, and we'll force these guys to come at him. Maybe we just bring him down here. Maybe he can defend this wall. I don't know. That's really about all we got for right now, because we move on to turn number 2. That's everybody. And this time, our heroes get the first activation. Maybe we should have jumped over the wall. We could have gone and taken these guys. We'll start with old Doggo down here. He's going to make the first attack against that lieutenant. And the dogs have a cause wound on an 8 or better. The orc is going to fail his resist wound. And he has a buckler, which he can try to block with. Now, the buckler is only successful on a 6. He fails, takes a wound, and he's out. If I had rolled a 1 or a 2, that buckler would have been busted. It would have saved his life. So he actually would have saved his life on a 1 or a 6, except on a 1 or a 2, the buckler is smashed beyond use. He's gone. Now we're going to try to take out this orc up here. I'm going to make the first dog is going to make 1 attack, and we'll see what happens. He fails. With his second attack, he is going to fail again. Now the second dog will make an attack. Again, we're looking for an 8. And with attack number 2, we're going to fail. So, with these 8-ups, 9-ups, it's going to be a whole thing, ain't it? Then we can bring our scout back around. She's only got 1 knife left, and I think we're just going to hold off on it for now, because you do have a -1. I forgot about that. You do have a -1 to your cause wounds for every 3 inches of range, which would put her at a total of -3 right now, as you can see. So we're just going to move her up. Get ready. We'll defend the wall. That should give us a little bit of bonus if we get into melee. And then our wizard can go ahead and move up a little bit behind. And let's see what other options he has. This time, our mage is going to drop a spell called Water Hammer, pulling water from the sky. By gathering the waters of the clouds, he may select 1 point within 8 inches and drop a torrent of cold water. The spot is 1 inch square. So there's our 4, there's our 6, and we are within 2. Now I only have a 1 inch square, but I think, it's only 1 inch square. So I'm going to be able to hit the leader and this guy with that spell. Does it miscast? With a 5, it does not. Our leader tries to resist magic and fails, and the other guy tries to resist magic, and with an 8, he might actually get away with it. What is his resist magic? It is a 9 or better, so we take off another. He's actually wielding some kind of an axe-headed pike. He's out. Our leader takes his first wound, and Eberhard is really proving to be the MVP of this first game, first chapter. Have we done everybody? We haven't done the leader, and I'm actually going to move him. Now that I think about this, I want to race him up north, because when we kill one more of these orcs, we have to try to keep the rest of them on the table. And that means he's got to get ahead of the game. These archers are way too close to the northern table edge. Fortunately, Marcus Dante can run a grand total of 2.5 inches. Oh, that takes both of his. He is a slow man. What can I tell you? I think that's everybody on the hero side of the ledger. Now the orcs get to go. And we are going to, let's start with this orc is going to attack one of the dogs. He's going to have to make 2 attacks. He rolls a 7, and an 8. And I believe the 8 should be a hit. He causes wounds on a 9 or better. Oh, so that's a couple of misses, so he's done. Then we're going to have to move these guys. They want to get to the northern side of the table as well. Our bandits are all going to run 4.5 inches, except the leader runs 4. So we'll bring him up here, sensing which way the battle is shifting already. They're not even going to be able to get to our heroes. 4.5 inches will take him to there. And then our archers are going to have to slide over just a little bit. The archers can only walk 3 inches. But if they want to get a couple of shots off on the leader, they're going to have to move just the 3. So we'll bring one over there. And this guy, we're gonna leave him to his fate. We're just going to try to soften up the heroes. Is going to move 3 inches. And that's going to give them... Well, wait a minute now. That's not going to do great. This guy has line of sight. I think this guy's probably going to want to move down here so he can see the doggo. With just the one move, we do have a shot, but it's going to be at a total... Well, he's right at 6 inches. So that's going to be just... It adds 1 to the difficulty, and 11 will hit our boss man. And he's going to resist with a 10. He doesn't even need to check his armor. This archer will shoot at this dog. And again, our range is 6 inches. So we try to cause wound, and we fail. And he's going to have to reload on the next turn. So let me mark those, as you do, to indicate that we have to reload. So you can move and reload, or you can shoot and reload, but you can't do both. That will be the end of the turn. So we roll for initiative. And this time the greenskins get the initiative. So we'll bring them... Well, I guess we'll go ahead and reload and shoot with both of these guys. Now, they can't move, right, because they used one of their 2 actions to reload. I'm going to roll the green for over here and the yellow for right here at our hero. Looking for a 9 or better, we get a pair of 8s. Is that right? Our archers cause wounds on 9s. We really needed to be... Actually, it's a 10. They need to roll 10s because it might have been better to move a little bit closer. Remember, every 3 inches, add 1 to your difficulty level. So the archers have gone, and now this hero is going to deliver 1 shot at each of the dogs, and he is going to fail on both of those with a 6 and a 7, looking for an 8. We have these last 2 guys, and one of them, they move 4.5 inches. We can get close enough to take a poke at the leader there, but I don't like that plan. We're going to move 4 inches up to here. We're going to meet him somewhere up here. So when that last guy dies, we can get off the table lickety-split. So we move up to there, and that's going to be it for the orcs. Our heroes now get to go. And our dog, who can run, he can move 5 inches, or he can run and get stuck in. So now we're going to have a fight on our hands over there. But he's used both of his actions, so that's about it. Dante is going to trundle along his 2.5 inches. And little Miss Elf is going to, what's her name again? Arilla, excuse me. Is it Arilla or is it Aria? Hard to say. She has no throwing knives left. She's going to have to get stuck in and do some fighting. She is really quick. She can walk 3.5 inches and still fight, or she can run 7. So we'll go ahead and bring her up to here. I think she was right there. I think she can actually reach this guy, but she's not going to be able to attack him. Now our mage says, well, I don't want to be the only one not having any fun. I can move up to about there, and he can launch a spell called Shock Blast, and it does not misfire. It has a very limited range. It's only got like a 3-inch range. No, a 12-inch range. 6 on our table. So he's shooting this guy with the 1 wound. He's going to try to resist magic, and with a 3 he fails. And now that might have been a mistake because, well, we still have a couple of different things we can do. Our first dog is going to attack that orc and miss. He uses a second attack and misses. Our dogs aren't doing so hot. Then that second dog is going to roll his first attack, and he's going to hit with boxcars, which means the orc tries to resist and will fail with a 7. His resist wound is with an 8. He's got a buckler, and he says, well, I can resist that, but his buckler is gone. He's still in the fight, and That 2v1. Oh, come to think of it. Yeah. Second attack means that the second attacker means that he still didn't resist the wound. And then the last thing that we can do here is try to head the leader off at the pass with a mere 2.5 inches. I don't think it's going to happen. We need to get close enough. This guy is now going to be able to run away. If he gets off the table, it's not going to go well for us. It is his turn to activate. And of course he says, yeah, I'm going to run. I'm going to go up to here. 4 inches will take him to there. And there's no chance that our slow hero is going to be able to get there. Oop, that tree goes there. We'll start here with an orc who causes wounds on a 9 and fails. But he has a second attempt, and with a 7 he also fails. Now we're going to try to attack Arilla the elf. The 7 is a failure, The 7 is another failure. And then this orc is going to roll a 5, and with his second action, if you're locked in combat, we roll a 6. If you're locked in combat, you have to stay in combat. That will end the turn with a pair of 6s. So we move on to the next turn. Let's find out who goes first. With a result of a 4 to a 3, our heroes can go. And Eberhard, baby, you got to do it. You're our only hope to stop that leader. Eberhard can move 3 inches, but it's going to cost him a full inch to get over the fence there. So we're going to hop the fence for an inch, move to there for an inch, and I think that's pretty good. Maybe we bring him back just a little bit. So we have a range of 6 inches, and he's going to drop a spell on that leader. That means he is just within range of a shock blast. Roll to see if we goof up. Nope, wild magic does not strike. The leader now has to roll for resist magic, and with a 7, that guy resists magic on a 9 or better. He takes his second wound, and he is out of the fight. We did that first because our boss, Dante, is now going to come racing to the aid of Arilla the elf. He's run, so he cannot get stuck into the fight. She can attack her opponent. She's not a great fighter, but a 9 will be a hit. He is going to resist with a 10. So they're still locked in melee. And then our dog is going to... Which one is that? That's Fritz. Is going to use his first attack to miss. His second attack. The dog's not doing so hot. With a 1, he's going to fail. Now we have 2 dogs over here. The first dog will attack. We might as well roll both times, right? We get a 9 for a hit. And then we roll to resist. And with a 6... he fails. His buckler is gone, so he is now out of the fight. Because we have one more dog, we're going to try to... This dog has not acted. He is close enough. I think we need to assist Arilla. So we use 1 action to close. We're going to use our second action to attack. And with a 7, I think that's going to be a failure. These dogs, Fritz, Franz, and Fonzo, cause wounds on an 8 or better. But he is this... Oh, he's the first attacker. We should have had Arilla attack. Oh, Arilla did attack. But remember, the extra attacker just means resist wound goes up by 1. That is still a failure. So that will end the turn. And now these 2 orcs are going to attack back. We'll do this one first. He has 2 attacks with his club. He rolls a 6 and a 7. Those will both fail. And then this orc is attacking Arilla. And with an 8, he will cause... Oh, he only causes wounds on a 9 up. That means he gets a second attack, and this time he will succeed in hitting Arilla. Now, she is not the strongest cookie in the dozen. She only resists wounds on a 6 or better. And with a 4, wait a minute. That makes her extra tough, doesn't it? Oh, because she is nimble. She's very good at dodging wounds. Not good enough this time, though. She is going to take 1 wound, her first, and that will end the turn. And I really need to get a better base on this tree. I'm just going to put it up here. I'm sick of it falling over on me. All right, we roll for initiative for that 1 orc. I think the game is pretty much over. We get our first activation. This time Dante says, I want to take advantage here. He is within 1 inch. He has a reach of 1 inch. And he has sweep, but he didn't get close enough to actually use it. So he will roll for a 7. He causes wounds on an 8. And now Arilla can make her attack. She is going to miss with a 3. And now this dog is going to be able to attack, and he misses with 1. And he hits with the 2nd. Because the dog is the 3rd in line to attack, that guy's resist wound is a 10 or better. He rolls a 7. He takes his last wound. And that is not the last. I'm going to bring Fonzo. Nope, Franz is going to rush over and make his first attack, which will fail. And now Fritz. Come on, Fritz. You got 2 attacks. You just got to hit him 1 time. Now, with the successful hit, that archer does not have any armor, but he rolls an 11, and he resists, which means he'll get to attack the dog if he hits with his first, which he does not. And then we roll for the second, and he causes wounds on a 9 or better. He fails. And that will, well, we do have our wizard, but he's just going to walk over here and enjoy the show. On the last turn of the game, the orc gets to go first, and he's going to try to take out one of those dogs since he can't really get away. He is going to fail on his first attack, and he will hit on his second attack. Franz is going to try to resist. He resists wounds on an 8 or better, and we have lost our first casualty. Animal abuse. No animals were harmed in the filming of this. That means Fritz will not be available in the next scenario. We're going to be down to just Franz and Fonzo. And, you know, this one's on you, Fritz. You had every opportunity to score 1 hit. Franz back here, or is that Fonzo? I think that's Fonzo. Hits once, and because he's a second attacker, that resist is going to be at a 9 or better. The 8 means that this orc is dead, and that is finally the end of this scenario. None of the bad guys escaped, which means when we go on to chapter 2, the only thing I need to check on here, the one thing I'm not sure about, does Dante, should we have saved some of his boom boom spells? We got a couple of more. I just want to know, do those come back? Because that's going to be a game breaker. He really put some serious hurt out on those orcs. I think the deciding factor is that you have the option of building attackers and defenders for this first little scenario using the same number of points, 520, and the same number of coins. Doesn't matter. They're evenly matched. The fact that we did so well here means that we could continue on with Arilla having the 1 wound, our wizard not having any of his big boom boom spells. I'm going to split the difference here. Arilla will start the game healed up. I will be down 1 dog. He really was cut down, and my wizard is going to get back 1 or 2 spells. Let's roll. On a 1, 2, 3, he gets back 1 spell. On a 4, 5, 6, he gets back 2 spells. Sorry, doggo. In this game, you can pet the dogs. He's a good boy. So we're going to get back Lightning Fork for sure. And what was the other one we used? We used Water Blast. Water Hammer is the other one we really want to have. But I can't remember what. Shock Blast is the only one that we don't have with us anymore. Now, we can get back 1 or 2 spells after the next scenario, but we'll have to see if Eberhard even survives. Here's a little preview of what this scenario looks like. It's a bit of a sneak and peek scenario. There is now a ruined keep with the boss man. This is the entry to the catacombs under the keep. That leads to the scenario 3. There are sentries walking around, and there is a big baddie. We're going to come on down out of the trees over here, try to sneak in, eliminate some of the guards, even the score a little bit, make the battle a little less even before we go after that big ogre. Wait, what is that? That's just the north arrow. I was going to say, is that where the entrance to the catacombs is? No, I'm pretty sure it's B. Maybe it's in C. It doesn't matter. We'll take a look at it next time. Appreciate you guys coming along for the ride. Kind of a simple little game. Little hard for those ruffians to get rough with us, but I'm not complaining, man. I'll take the W. Till next time, I'm praying for you.